Welcome back, my beautiful souls, to my channel. I am Katie Rose. If you're new here, then welcome. And I will be your weekly reader. So I hope you've had a wonderful week. Now, for me personally, I know that pile one of last week was my pile entirely, and I have been going through the motions of hormonal issues. So that's been quite funny because I wasn't expecting it, but it has totally been my pile. So it's been quite accurate in the way that came through for me as well. So I do love it when I give it to you guys and I hear from you and you're like, yeah, it's spot on. Oh, I know exactly what this is. And then I also get messages as well. So I love it. I love it. Okay, so this week with the cards, I am obviously using my deck, Whispers of Soul. In case you don't know, this is what they look like. There's a link in the description below if you would like a deck. But also what I'm going to do this week is, so I've been working on a tarot deck with a lady, and she has been bringing what's in my head into a reality, and she is amazing. And we have nearly all the major arcana cards done, so I have actually put in my just test printout version into this week because I just felt so drawn to doing it. So I hope you like these tarot cards that are coming up for you guys this week. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. But yeah, I'm just quite excited to use them, to actually use them and to use the cards, and I'm just like, yes, let's go. So on that note, let's dive in, guys. So as always, settle yourself, taking some deep breaths, breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth, just allowing your body to settle, to relax, coming into center, focusing on your guidance for the week, allowing the messages to come through that you are needing to hear, to see, to feel. And when you feel calm and ready, allow yourself to pick a pile. Pile 1, pile 2, or pile 3. And you may find that your eyes just dart to a certain pile. You may feel pulled towards a certain pile. You may just have a knowing that a certain pile is your pile. Go with your intuition and go with those very first thoughts and feelings. And then when you're ready, you can click the timestamp in the description below to take you directly to your reading. Welcome, pile 1, to your weekly reading. Let's have a look what cards you've got. I'm in love with my new tarot cards, guys. I can't help it. Okay, so you have the Wheel of Fortune, and I've forgotten what this will look like until this moment in time. Look at her. So this is the Wheel of Fortune. You've also got Community. And you've also got Trust Your Path, and like these two together are just vibing so much for me right now. The feelings that I'm getting for you this week is there's a lightness that is coming up. There is this surrendering, this universal trusting and ever-flowing divine timing. All of this is coming up for you guys this week. Very exciting energy, it feels like, and very sort of I would say there's some inner work, but in an exciting way almost. So let's just dive in. Let's go into these a little bit more. Okay, so I'm just going to move this one to the side just for the moment because these two are this is where I'm coming. This is my focus right now, is these two. And I'm so drawn to this card. It excites me even more because I haven't actually used these until this moment in time. So the fact that I feel drawn to them is so exciting for when these actually come out. But what I'm seeing here in the Wheel of Fortune is this trust. Oh my God, I feel excited. I feel like the timing is now, like, I just feel like it is the right time to be moving forwards with something for you guys, pile 1. I feel like everything is coming into place. Things are clicking. Things are really starting to solidify in what you're wanting and how you're wanting to move forwards. But what I also want to bring in is this card because it says trust your path. And what I kind of want to, it's almost like this is like letting go of fears. She's surrendering. Look at her. Look at her. She is just completely in surrender. And she is trusting, and the energy is just flowing. It's flowing around her, and it's like expanding out of her. It is this ever moving wheel that is happening. It is that universal energy that spirals around and truly divinely connected, and timing is everything, which is why I'm feeling like this week there's some movement with something. It's like something may have been stagnant or been pushing before and it wasn't really going anywhere. Now I'm seeing movement. I'm seeing something change. For some of you, there may be even a house change coming up for you. There's just something that just pops up there. But with this truth, I say truth because that's what keeps coming up to me, but it says trust in your path. And even here, she has this energy again that is flowing around her. So there's a big energetic shift that is happening here. And I want to bring this into like the mindset side of things. And this card says, if you knew you would be supported, what would you do? And I kind of want to ask you, if you didn't have fear, if you didn't have that sort of doubt, what do you want? Where would you be? What would you have? I want you to start asking those sort of questions this week. I really want you to go inwards and start asking, if I didn't have this fear, what would I have instead? So like, or ask yourself this exact question that's on this card. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? If you knew you had the finances, what would you do? Because that's kind of like how you need to be flowing with this energy this week. It's about what do you want, not what don't you want. It's switching that mindset, those emotions, connecting with what you are truly wanting. But the light energy that is coming in this week it feels quite, at first it feels a little bit like small, but because of it's this expanding energy and it's growing through the week, it just feels powerful then. So I love that for you guys. And then we got the community card that we need to bring in as well. So this is very much about, I want to say with some of you, it may be about looking for some extra help when it comes to this sort of maybe asking the right questions. So you may need somebody maybe that is trained in something, or somebody that is a good friend that seems to know what you're wanting and able to ask the right questions. It's a very sort of niche area in what I feel you're needed right now. In getting the right support and the right questions asked for you to unlock, because that's what I feel this card is doing. We are unlocking what's already inside you. It's like, once you unlock that, it's not the word, expand is not the right word then. It's like the word I get is flourish. You flourish, you just transform. That's another word I'm getting, transform. And again, it kind of want to bring in some outside support to help you if you are a bit stuck. If you are somebody that struggles to ask yourself the right questions, or even to take an hour out or half an hour out for yourself to ask these questions. Sometimes some people need to schedule it in as if it's an appointment with yourself. So that may be another idea for you to think about. But it's all about success. This card brings such great success. Your hard work is paying off. Everything that you are wanting is coming into fruition. I still feel like, yeah, keep working, keep like, I get like a beavering away. Keep working towards what it is that you're wanting, because the colors of this card tells me that you're going to have some great success. You're going to really link in with your inner power. You're also going to feel sort of like more emotionally, I want to say stable, but that doesn't quite feel like the right word. But it's like a balance, an emotional balance that comes into play. I feel like that excitement that has been building for quite a while, it feels like for you guys, pile one, is finally starting to see, it's like reaping the rewards. You're really starting to see and feel the outcome. Is almost like, it's like I can grasp it with my hands now. That's how it feels. So know that there is this huge weight that is being lifted, huge weight coming off of you this week. It's like you can breathe again, flow again, and because of that, this creativity is coming in, and there's some new avenues opening up for you as well, my lovelies. So that is what I have for you. I'm excited for you this week. Let me know how the week goes and how this resonates for you. But I truly hope you have a beautiful, trusting, opening, expanding, exciting week, my loves. Welcome, pile 2, to your weekly reading. So let's have a look. I'm loving these tarot cards, guys. So the Justice card you have coming out. Look at her. Oh, I wish like the lighting was better as well. And can you imagine when they're actually printed on proper card? I'm so excited. Okay, and then you've got the Attraction card. And you've also got Take a Break. So let's have a look at these cards here together, just to see how I'm feeling. I want to move some around. I want the energy to flow right. And that's the energy I feel for you guys. Like, we need to move some stuff around. It feels like we're needing to, well, we've got the Take a Break, but it is that sort of respite that we need, and some balance, and some inner work, I suppose, in a way. But it just feels like the flow of energy is important this week for you guys. Okay, so let's just dive into this a little bit more, see what comes up. Okay, so what I had to move these in the right order, and I think it's back to front on the screen with you guys, but this is my first one to me. This is where we are starting. We've got to take a break first. We've got to slow down. And as we do this, it automatically flows into this card of justice, of balance, of understanding yourself and what you're wanting. Also, it's about facing some fears. I feel like for you guys this week, we're going to have to kind of get out our comfort zones and face some things that we have been putting off. It feels like this is where I was getting that sort of, there's some inner work element that comes up here. But what I love that is paired with this is the Attraction card, because with the Attraction card, we are bringing in sort of this universal energy comes in with the spirals. Okay, it is saying that something is going to be revealed to you this week, but then for it to be revealed, this is what I'm saying, is like these two go together. It feels so interlinked and flows beautifully together. So what I feel here is that there's a need for quiet, there's a need for balance, some time out, because these sort of secrets, these messages, guidance, this extra information is going to be revealed to you, but you can kind of only get it feels like, pile 2, if you're being quiet, if you're in meditation, if you're out walking, if you're doing something for yourself, sort of that self-care, take a bath, all those sort of elements. It honestly feels like only then will this be revealed to you, which is also a bit of a pain sometimes when we're just looking for an answer and we're like, just give it to me. But I feel like patience is needed this week, my loves. It does feel like we are needing just to take a step back, because what I get here as well with this Justice card is to be able to face your fears, you need to be able to stop and know what those fears are, because sometimes we know there's something there, but we're not fully aware, we're not fully conscious of what it is. We just know there's something that's been niggling at us, and this is what I see in this card. I feel like there is something just niggling away, and for you to be able to see, because she's blindfolded, but the only way that you can see is to use that third eye, that inner vision. And that's one of the main things that comes up, it feels like, for you guys this week. Facing some fears that feels internal. So there may be some emotions, some thoughts that have been either pushed down, not fully dealt with. It may be something coming up from the past that you felt was you didn't receive justice for, and that's why it's coming up for you now, is to bring in some compassion, bring in understanding, and a commitment to yourself to be able to reveal the truth. And I want to say all truth as well. So it may not just be your version of the truth, it may be someone else's version as well, to be able to get a better perspective, because with your seeing eyes, you're not truly seeing the truth, is what I get here. So what I get is you needing to know maybe the other side of a story to be able to see the full picture emerge. And it is the Libra card as well. So that is about justice. That's a bit about balance, about the logical side of things and an understanding of things. And that's how I feel. I feel like we need an understanding of something so that we can then move on. So it's like that last bit of healing in a way, but there's been something that's just been blocking you from fully facing it. And that's what comes up this week. But what I want to say as well is with the attraction card is that luck is on your side and it's a good time to take a risk. So this is like, it may feel to you that this is a risk to go back into these emotions, to feel it, to kind of remember certain things, but it's a risk that will pay off, it feels like. For some of you, it feels like there may be something in the physical world, the material world, that you want to take a risk in. And when I say risk, it's not necessarily a big, massive risk. It's just to you may feel like, oh, that's a bit scary. Oh, I don't know if that's really going to work out. I might lose money in doing that. But it just feels like unless you roll the dice, you're not going to fully know what the outcome is. But just know that luck is on your side at the moment. This week feels great for that. I also want to bring in this sort of spiritual side that comes in for you guys. There is a sort of a deeper understanding of yourself, your intuition. There is an awakening that's happening. I feel like if you already work in the spiritual side of things, then there is a development that is happening, and it's about really trusting in yourself and what is coming to you, what you're feeling, what you're knowing, because there is a shift. It feels like there's a shift within. There's a shift in the way that you've been working, the way that you're understanding things. There's a belief change of some kind that is maybe merging or shifting within you. So all of this is coming up. So there's quite a few things happening, but it all feels really positive and really good. And then with the take a break, we're really sort of finding that inner peace, finding a way to reconnect with yourself, because again, it feels like you've been putting off this work that is coming up. So this break is needed to be able to reconnect, to readjust, to be able to see things from a different perspective is very, very important this week. And it brings this inner peace. There's something that you have you haven't felt it for a while. It feels like pile 2. It feels like you've forgotten how it feels to maybe slow down, to feel just connected, to feel your breath, to recognize your breath, to connect with your breath, to even notice how you're breathing. This feels like you've forgotten how to do that. So I really want to bring that in this week. And the more that you could do that and connect with your breath, the more you'll be able to work with what it is that is trying to be revealed to you. Breath work is incredible, especially with going deep within and bringing a healing. So that comes up as something to look at and work on. And make sure that as you're doing this work that you're praising yourself for this. You need to make sure that you are kind of patting yourself on the back, saying, yes, look how far we've come, we've done amazing. That is another thing that comes up for you guys this week. So really work with what you're wanting, focusing on the healing in a way, and allowing yourself to go past those fears. Really get out your comfort zones, and find that balance within, and really work on your intuition, your inner sort of guidance that is coming up, because that is going to be really strong this week for you guys. So that is what I have for you, my loves. I hope this resonates, and I hope to see you here next week. Welcome, pile 3, to your weekly reading. So the cards that you have are the Sun cards. Yes, look at her dancing, loving life, that energy, that freedom. Love the Sun, love it. You've also got obstacles, and you've also got break the chain. So I gotta move cards around, they're not in the right place. I had to do it on the last pile as well. It's important, it feels important for the way that the energy is flowing, which seems to be a pattern for this week coming up. So what am I getting overall for you guys? I'm getting a bit of a sticky point. There's a little bit of a sticky point this week, a little bit of maybe a challenge, or maybe this is coming from last week, starting to come into this week, because towards the end of the week, I feel a big shift in energy, which is why I feel the obstacle course, it may be an obstacle course, ducking and diving and weaving and bobbing around these obstacles, trying to break through. But it does feel like it's come up to bring that awareness, because at the end of the week, you are going to break through it. That's my feeling that comes up here. So let's dive in a little bit more for you guys. Okay, so where am I going first? I'm going to the break the chain. Okay, guys, I'm coming straight here. I'm sure we had this not that long ago as well. So what I'm seeing here is I'm really getting this form of expansion that comes up. So, and the way that this is coming to me is there is your heart space, okay? So there is this sort of need to expand your heart space, the energy, the sort of visualize it if it helps for you. So the way that I'm seeing this is your heart space, and then it's like this, imagining this energy connecting and expanding out through your heart, because it's almost like at the moment there's not enough space. There's not enough energetic space for you to expand into, so you can kind of feel things, go through these emotions, to know where they are and what they are. It's almost like everything's a bit jumbled up. That's the way that this comes in, and it's like just held within your heart space. You may be getting some chest pains, your breathing might be a bit off, you may have some issues with your lungs. It's all that kind of area, all of this. You may even find that your shoulders are quite like this, quite tight and tense, and it's about bringing them down and relaxing. So what I'm getting here is about expanding, because we need that energy that's so tight here to be able to, and it's so dense and heavy. So we need that to be able to expand out into your space around you. So it's as simple as imagining this energy, anything you're feeling, every tension, tightness, whatever it is, just that however it appears in your mind is correct for you, and just imagine it there, and then just see it expanding and expanding. So it gets lighter and lighter because it's filling out further and further. And as you do that, it's almost like these other areas get revealed because of it's not so entwined, whereas everything else before was like, it may have been anger, frustration, sadness, all bundled into one. Whereas when it starts to expand, you can actually feel those different emotions. So say energies, your anger's there, frustration's there, sadness is there, and then you can start linking into, where's this coming from? Oh, that's because my husband didn't do this, or this is because I lost somebody. Somebody may have passed over and you haven't been able to deal with the grief of it. So you can start getting into things a lot more when you start to expand out. So that's the very first thing that comes up for you guys this week, and that is with the break the chain. And this can be, again, with break the chain, it always tends to come into an ancestral pattern of some kind. It's about breaking those things, breaking those patterns that may have been passed down by generation and generation. There is even a study that was done on rats where every time they were in contact with a cherry blossom, it was, I think, zapped or something like that. So it had this negative attachment to a cherry blossom. And then what happened was, with their offspring, even though they were never zapped or anything when next to a cherry blossom, they were just shown one or was around one, and they had the same effect as what their parents had. And then their offspring, again, never zapped when around cherry blossom. It was just passed down to them through their genes that they didn't like cherry blossoms, that it was a bad thing, that it was a negative thing. And we are the same as humans. So what happens to our parents, our grandparents, can be passed down to us, and we are repeating those cycles. So that's what that is, that's coming up for you guys this week. So you're just being shown a pattern, or there's something that's coming up, and I feel like you already kind of know what it is, but maybe you haven't been able to fully heal it, or maybe been avoiding it as well. But there's a healing that comes up here because you're rewriting the future. So there is it does feel like you're really expanding this energy to be able to heal it. And it feels really positive, and I see you doing this. I feel like this is something that is absolutely achievable for you to break these patterns, to break these chains. It feels like this is something that I get the words that you were born to do. Okay, so that's what comes up there. So again, as we work on things like this, it does bring up obstacles. It does bring up things that are maybe really hard to deal with, emotions. Sometimes it feels like it's impossible to even get past them. But what I want to say here, I actually want to read this card. So it says, what seems impossible now will not always be. There is beauty in the challenges. Don't give up. dig deep, and discipline is key. So that's kind of what I want you to hold on to this week, that energy of yes, yeah, okay, it might seem hard, but I know I can do this. I will be able to do this. It never lasts forever. I can absolutely overcome this. And this is where this sun energy card comes in as well. So it really is about kind of connecting with that sun energy, allowing the healing of the sun, because that is a very powerful element as well. Really bring in and connect with the sun energy this week. Get out in it as much as you can, feel it on your skin as much as you can. It feels so important for this, again, that heart healing that I was saying, seeing that expand. So this is literally what I was seeing. I didn't realize I designed this card. I didn't even realize it was on the card, because that's what I was seeing over here. But that is what we were talking about earlier, is like, just imagine it's something like this little ball of light. You might see it in a different color. It doesn't really matter. And then seeing it expanding, seeing it flowing out of you, seeing the sun healing it, dissipating it, letting it transform and just even disappear entirely. See it turn into butterflies, whatever it is for you, to feel that energy shift, turn, change and transform, transmute, and not be a part of you anymore. That is what I'm seeing coming up for you guys this week. So really work with that sun energy. It brings a beautiful balance. There's a new beginning that's going to be coming up, and it's really, really important for you guys not to give up. So when you go through a healing, sometimes it is uncomfortable, it is hard, and you don't want to face things, but what I'm seeing for you guys is, don't give up. Keep working on it, keep working through it, because you will get over it, and this is the end result. You will feel like this beautiful lady here, transformed, feel energetic, feel like you are on a new path, that you can achieve anything, do anything. The movement that comes up is beautiful. This sort of stagnant energy that may have been here before is completely shifting into motion, really feeling that action, movement, that motion, all of it coming into play by the end of the week. So I really want to give you as much love and encouragement to keep working through those obstacles, because when you get to the top of those mountains, that view is going to be insane. It's going to be amazing. It will be worth every single little challenge, obstacle, problem. You will face them and overcome them. And I just feel like it's this sort of abundant energy that is the sort of end result, this sort of powerful energy of knowing your strength, of knowing who you are. These learnings that come from these obstacles and challenges is going to be something that will, I feel like, propel you forwards as you move on and keep going and transforming. So it just feels like this is a great foundational sort of layer, base that comes in for you as well this week. So keep working, keep going, and do not give up. I give you all the support in the world to keep. I'm your cheerleader this week, guys. Just imagine me there, like, as like a coach, just cheering you on. Keep going, keep going, keep going, because that is what I want to bring in this week for you guys. So that's what I have for you, my loves. I hope this resonates, and I hope to see you here next week.